is for blockchain to win, not for one. Because if we're in it for the tech, we just need blockchain to win. If you're in it to shill your bags, then at that point, you're kind of invested in Ethereum winning or Bitcoin winning, which isn't the point.
Yeah, I feel like that is very much what like most people are, because we're still on like the stock market mindset of like the company needs to win. It's all about like the shareholders, the stockholders, because that's like at least in recent history been the largest like windfall of wealth. It's just who's playing with the stocks in the smartest, most effective way, as opposed to like what companies are bringing the most value to the most people.
But I don't know. I see it. I'm literally looking like the technologist, and it might be a romanticized view of the world, which makes no sense. But I think first of all, in order for blockchain to succeed, I think we have to stop speaking that much about blockchain. I always give an example of Viber, Viber or Viber. I don't know the correct way to pronounce it. But,
I call it Viber.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. It's a really used chat app here in Serbia. Why it is my mom's favorite chat? It's not because, for example, it was one of the first, if not the first, chat that was used a lot that had end-to-end encryption. That's not why my mom actually picks to use it. She picks it because she likes the stickers, because she likes the game, and because her girlfriends are there. Those are the three only reasons why she's using it, and it looks nice. She didn't say I use Viber because it has end-to-end encryption. Consumers don't care about the blockchain part of blockchain. I know it's really hard, I think, to hear that from someone in the space.
Yeah, but it is definitely much more like a developer pitch.
Yeah, I think, and it makes sense because we're still in the state where we need developers to build things that people are going to actually use. So I completely agree with the pitch, but it's kind of strange that it's strange to me that people are confused that we use the same pitch for consumers, and it doesn't resonate with them. Of course, it's not going to resonate with them, and they don't care.
Yeah, I think the biggest like selling point to me was with like the creators, I guess. So like for artists, musicians, for like game developers, being able to create tokens that you're able to kind of that you can actually truly own and you can trade with people. Though I still like there are things that I like. I play a number of like different card games. So I that it's not on chain, but like I play one of the Yu-Gi-Oh card games, and then there's one crypto game that I got into, Gods Unchained.
Gods Unchained, yeah.
Which is on chain.
Yeah.
But like having ownership of like a card in the Yu-Gi-Oh thing, you can't sell like the individual cards. You can sell like your account. But then on Gods Unchained, you can sell the card to a person who doesn't necessarily play the game, but then like they can't play with it, and if they're just holding it as like a value token, then that's kind of valueless. I'm looking forward to seeing when like there are going to be things that you can kind of like use in one game, and you'll also be able to it'll still have some actual like playability in other things. When games start interacting that way, I think it'll be a lot more interesting for.
I think it would be a really good use case. But the thing that you should note in your thinking is that, again, you come from a person who probably likes collecting things. I'm guessing if somebody says, would you pay a monthly fee not to own the music that you listen to, which would be streaming, people would probably say no. So I'm not really sure how much people really care about ownership. I completely agree with you. I mean, I'm the same person as you. I have been playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! I have been playing Magic when I was younger as well, a lot. I still have those things, even though... So I literally wouldn't sell them now, even though I haven't played them for like 10 years. But they kind of still hold value for me. So it makes complete sense what you're saying. I just think people still don't care that much about that part. Consumers. I think we're all in our own little bubbles, kind of echo chambers.
Yeah, I guess.
But I completely agree. The gaming thing that you mentioned, that was like the main thing about NFT that has driven me to it too, as I was like a really, really big gamer. And I'm actually have been rediscovering gaming for the past couple of weeks and really been enjoying it. Not to digress too much. The idea of having play one game and then going into the next one, and that same thing having value there as well, or existing there as well, is like my childhood dream come true. Because I remember I played a lot of World of Warcraft, like too much. I mean, World of Warcraft is probably one of the worst drugs in the world.
I played RuneScape without being a member for the longest time.
Yeah,
that's an even sadder drug. If you're at like methamphetamine, I'm doing crack.
yeah, definitely. But I remember having the sunken cost fallacy of, because you have to pay a monthly subscription for World of Warcraft. I literally remember new games coming out and me having the sunken cost fallacy of, but if I don't pay for the prepaid game card, and then not continuing to play, kind of my whole progress has been lost. And it's not like a single player game that you kind of revisit. It's kind of there. It's kind of living world. It's not the same. Something's happening there without you. So I would be the happiest kid of them all if I could like take a sword that I have been playing for 200 hours to attain, or even more, and then bring it into another game and use it there as well.
Yeah, same thing with like achievements and stuff in games. Like PlayStation, Xbox, so many people like their like life goals. They tie a lot of their like value as gamers to like their gamer score. I think it'd be fascinating for the like for like world record in different games, like holding an NFT for that. That would be cool.
Yeah. That would be an extremely interesting thing. Yeah.
Which because people hold arbitrary value for doing doing arbitrary things in weirder and more insane ways. I posted this one thing in like a speedrunning group I'm in on Facebook. It's like, yes, I beat this game without using any upgrades. Take that, developers. How do you think? This one guy, and then like it cuts to the developers, and one of them is like, hey, this guy just apparently beat the game without using any upgrades in this amount of time. And then his friend behind him is like, why?
Yeah. But I remember, for example, but it kind of makes a lot of sense, and achievements would be a really, really interesting one. I remember when my friend there was a new WoW expansion, World of Warcraft expansion coming out, and because it had like the concept of realms, which are basically servers, and then because you had professions, the first person that would max out a certain profession in that expansion would get an achievement called the Feat of Strength, because you can achieve once. And I remember us supporting him through the night. We were queuing for the game, installing it, and supporting him through the night.
I remember that shit happened on like RuneScape, MapleStory. Like there was a long time before before games. If a game's been around for a long enough time, and they had like a more or less balanced leveling system without them having to make like radical changes to experience or levels, like level caps, then it was a big deal when somebody hit like a max level in X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
There would be like people would record it. There are like YouTube videos of like, oh, when this guy hit the first time somebody hit level 200 in MapleStory. Yeah. Now I have a friend who like. He picked up the game for like a month. He's like, oh yeah, cool, max level, next character. Let's do another max level character.
That's it, yeah. No, it was interesting. And I remember from that time when YouTube videos were like that, it was usually the song "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor."
Oh yeah, let the bodies hit the floor.
Yeah, and it's always the same one, and it's always like Windows Movie Maker intro, which is always the same with that song. Yeah.
Good times, man. Like. It is weird moving from so a lot of these games, one of the big pushes with them was a lot of like the communities, like clans and guilds. And apparently that is like starting to become like a bigger thing. People trying with a lot of DAOs are just trying to figure out how to get people to organize